Ready. Hello and welcome to day 31 of our online Facebook yoga practice. As I begin to prepare our session today, come into a comfortably seated position. Keep your strap, your blocks, all of your props nearby. Begin to find your natural breath. Begin to come into your space. We'll be focusing on Anahata Chakra today. This is the heart chakra. This is based on Swami Satyananda Saraswati's Kundalini Tantra texts, which I will cite throughout the practice. Anahata translates into the unstruck rhythm. So it's that beat that is eternal. It doesn't start, it doesn't stop, it is not caused by any one given thing. So there is a mantra, there is a sound that is related to not only this chakra, but to all of the chakras, but for this it is very important. So if you are able, when you breathe, to keep your mind focusing on two sounds as you inhale, so, and of course that inhale now, beginning to find that space in the diaphragm, extending your breath out, dropping the shoulders, melting the bones, allowing all parts of your body to completely relax, release, rejuvenate. And as you inhale deeply into the belly through the nose, mentally repeat the word or the sound, so. And as you exhale, again lengthening the exhale to be twice as long as your inhalation, still focusing on the balloon in your belly. Inhaling both through the nose, inhale and exhale. And as we exhale, the sound, hum. So follow that rhythm, follow your breath, allow your breath now to extend a little bit more deeply into the rib cage, feeling that external expansion as though they're barreling outwards, ballooning your belly, barreling the sides. Continue that wave of breath. Again, this is an adult practice. We will be doing some deep yin postures today. Assalamu alaikum, habibi. We'll be doing some deep yin postures today, holding for up to 5 minutes. So mentally prepare yourself. We will be keeping the block nearby, so keep that, or a book or a brick or whatever you may have handy. As you lengthen your breath, the balloon in the belly, the barrel in the ribs, and now the space is coming up and finding all of the pockets of empty spaces in the clavicular, the thoracic cavities of the face. And just let that wave of breath lift your spine, lift your heart. And coming back to that heart center, the Anahata Chakra, that is where we will focus our practice today. If at any time you need to adjust the legs, do feel free to do so. When you're ready, let's begin to come into our body slightly. You can begin to also include the Ujjayi breathing technique. So many things happening here just as we are breathing. With every breath, we're lifting. This is first. Relax your legs, relax your shoulders, allow the belly, the rib cage, and finally the thoracic region to find that wave. Your exhale is extending to be twice as long as your inhalation. You are inhaling the sound so, exhaling the sound hum. Follow that Biji mantra. Follow the cycle of your breath. Every exhale twice as long and lengthening. The Ujjayi breath coming in, contracting the throat, the glottis. All of these things happening simultaneously. If you find your mind wandering, come back to the body, and as the first point, come back to your breath. Find your Ujjayi. Focus on the sounds. And come deeper into your own body. Anything happening outside of these four walls, outside of my voice, let it go with every expiration. Let it be far from you. And do not bring it back. On your next exhale, let's begin to drop the hands down. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, opening the eyes of the elbows, palms, finger joints, lifting, touching the tips of the fingers. And once you do, exhale, turning the palms to face downwards. The first few motions to unite the body and the breath, the mind, with all of the consciousness happening within the intelligence of the body. Inhaling up a little bit more slowly this time. And exhaling down. The word yog means to unite, to yoke, to bring together. This is the higher energies with the lower energies. Wherever you may fall on that trajectory, it varies, of course. We're working on the Anahata Chakra today, our heart chakra. Inhaling, arms up. Let's bring them out to the side this time. Keep them here just for a moment and feel that parallel distance. Feel the strength in the shoulders, the rib cage. This part of the spine and the thoracic region holds the heaviest parts of the body. It holds the majority of the weight within all of our internal organs, the head, the arms, everything hanging off of these very strong bones. Focusing on the heart center. On your next inhale, let's bring the left fingers to the right temple and dropping the opposite elbow, chin into the chest, nodding slowly, feeling the muscles stretching. And on your next downward nod, keep the chin into the chest and let's adjust the hand to come onto the side of the head and tilt the head towards the armpit as though we are looking towards our armpit. Now the hand can be on the side of the head, side of the jaw, up towards the temple again. Wherever you find you're getting the deepest stretch. And exhale, release the hand down to the side and drop the chin down a little bit more and circle, half circle or a quarter circle even, up to the armpit and down And again, follow that quarter circle, just a few breaths. And on your next inhale, let's reverse. So bringing the chin to the armpit or the nose. They say it's like smelling the armpit position. And tilting the head to the side, fingers to the outside of the temple. And inhaling both arms up. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So fingers finding the soft spot, opposite hand coming down, tenting the fingers or flattening the palm. Chin coming into the chest, lengthening into a yes mantra. Exhaling, coming down. When the chin is down, let's bring the fingers to the outside of the chin and moving it towards the armpit or the side of the head, temple, wherever you may feel comfortable. And on your next exhale, release the hand and that quarter semicircle. Very slow, very gentle, exhaling down, inhaling back up. Really releasing all of the tension here in the neck and the shoulders. And reversing the sequence. So out to the side, looking towards the armpit, bringing the nose, the chin, the head towards the armpit. And coming to the side, temples and fingers connecting. And inhaling, arms out to the side just for one breath. Cactus the arms, slight back bend, and inhale, fingers together, bringing the elbows in and just folding the clavicular spine, top of the neck. Let's exhale, chin into the chest, leaning down, breathing deeply, and holding here for 5 deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. And 0. Inhaling, lifting vertebrae by vertebrae. The last thing to come up is the top of the spinal column, followed by the elbows opening. Beautiful. Let's bring the arms out to the side again and stretching out the obliques. Exhale, left palm, hand, tips of the fingers or the forearm down. Breathing nice and deeply, lengthening, looking up, reaching back, and lifting higher. We're going to come into a twist and extend the leg at the same time. So exhale, drop that upper arm, planting both hands in, and the opposite leg is going to come out, stretching all the way to the side. And give a bit of a twist and a length, pushing into the foot. Breathing, lengthening out the whole internal organs, feeling the releasing in the intestines. And when you're ready, inhaling, coming up, And exhaling, let's get a nice opposite twist. So bent heel is towards the groin, elbow inside the knee, reaching up, back, and over. Those three positions happening simultaneously. And inhale back to center and fold that leg in. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So when you're ready, inhaling arms up and exhale, opposite side. So whether you tent the fingers, flatten the palm, or come down onto your forearm. Looking up through the armpits. Arm is reaching, lengthening, and being pushed back. All of these moving parts happening simultaneously. This is part of the focus, part of the building of the concentration, is to have your mind not stuck in the headiness between your ears, but starting to be able to simultaneously concentrate on a variety of anatomical conditions. On your next exhale, let's drop that arm, flatten the palm, opposite leg lifting out, coming into a bit of a twist and a lengthening. Breathing deeply here and really just kind of letting the twist happen on its own. No need to force anything. Let the shoulders stay down, always down, away from the ears. And as we inhale, come back. Keep that heel tucked in tight, opposite side, reaching right arm up, left elbow into the left knee, and reaching up. And exhale, coming back. Very good. Let's come into a Vajrasana position for a moment. So the legs together, knees together, toes together, heels together. If you are not comfortable, put a block underneath or continue to sit in your preferred sitting position. We'll come into a breathing, and this particular breath we have done before, but it is the association with the Anahata Chakra, that is the Brahmari pranayama. Now, Brahmari, the humming bee breathing technique, is technically not a breath, it is a meditation. And as that universal vibration sounds within our mind when our fingers are closing our ears, we're really allowing all of that vibration, all of the empty cavities in the face to start to resonate with that sound. And vibration, as we know, is the origin of everything. So if you are familiar with the practice, you can come into the Brahmari breathing technique now. We'll stay here for a few minutes. We will continue to breathe. I can see our little ocean that could has begun to chime for sound. I always, of course, will keep my sound free of additional auditory distraction, but I do encourage you to put on whatever beat or soundscape you find appealing to take you deeper into your positions. When you are ready, inhaling arms up, shoulders down, let the arms out in a T-shaped position for a moment. Now, if you're not sure what to do, follow me before you begin. Don't plug your ears before you have the full instructions. But when you are ready, we're going to bend the elbows, taking that first index finger, pushing into the cartilage in our ear. And when we inhale deeply again, following that same 1, 2, 3, ujjayi, so hum sound, mentally repeating, we are also now going to put a little bit of a hum when we exhale. Now that hum is going to start to vibrate our entire head and sort of seep down. Just travel, follow the journey and see how far you are able to follow it. As I said, we'll do this for a few minutes. So when you're ready, inhaling up. If you get dizzy, come into a child's position with the head down. When you're ready, inhaling arms up And bending the elbows, index finger into the cartilage, breathing nice and deeply. When you inhale, you can take the hands out and exhaling again. On your next inhale, release the hands, place them behind you, fingers pointing towards you. Lifting, releasing the tension in the shoulders, releasing the blood lock in the torso. And just a quick transition, we're going to come into our child's position. So opening the legs nice and wide. Toes should be touching. This is our Bhadrasana. So if you want to stay here, you're welcome to stay here. Focus on lengthening the femurs and opening as wide as you can. Otherwise, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, and exhale. Once the hands find the ground, let them roll or slide forward. Sorry, monkey. And we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. So our first yin position, get comfortable. Allow the breath to roll along the back of the spine. Don't forget the diaphragm in your belly. Yoga is ultimately a breathing practice. As I was reminded today, and as I try to remind us as often as we practice, yoga is primarily a breathing practice, and the physical effects are purely coincidental. So again, you're really focusing on the breath, and let the heart drop down here. Make sure the shoulders aren't scrunching up. Open the arms a little bit more widely. It's pushing the puppy over a little bit more. Sorry, monkey. If you feel the shoulders really scrunching, open them a little bit further. Try to let the forehead be on the ground with the heart simultaneously. Bring the head up so the chin is on the ground. And relax. The rhythm. This is the easiest, well, the breath of
the heart. Those are the easiest systems to really focus on and follow. We've been focusing on the breath now for the entirety of the practice. 4 days, ladies and gentlemen. Start to tune in to the rhythm of your heart and start to imagine you can slow down the rhythm of your heart. Just as we have learned to slow down the rhythm of our rhythm, that is step 1. Start to just observe the beating of your heart. Start to just feel the vibration, continuous muscle beating thousands of times a day. And you may, particularly in these longer yin positions, you may even start to begin to feel the other systems at play. No need to try to give them a name or label them or identify what's moving where. Just feel those other rhythms in the body. Taking your last breath here, ladies and gentlemen, I will adjust my position simply for demonstration purposes. We're going to come down onto our bellies for a moment. But how we get there will, of course, depend on your spine and your upper body strength. We're going to inhale, look forward, walk the fingers forward so that the bottom begins to lift. Once your bottom begins to lift, just enough so it feels like you're going to tilt forward, then we can start to slide the heart across the ground. So trying to keep the chin down nice and low. Again, your hands are acting as a balancing, strengthening point. If this is not easy, you can come up with a nice round back and just meet us down in a cobra position. Otherwise, we're going to try to do so with, or if it's not comfortable, I should say, because it isn't easy for anyone. So don't not do it because it's not easy. But if you're in pain or if you just find it's absolutely not available. Otherwise, keeping the hands nice and strong. Let's begin to slide the heart down. And the last thing to come down, the tailbone, sacrum, and then relax the feet. Make sure the hands are strong. Fingers are separated, pushing into the first knuckle and breathing from the heart, leading from the heart, dropping the shoulders down. Come into a deep back bend here. So we've got the back bend, of course, in the lower lumbar region. Try to feel the back bend coming in the thoracic spine as well. You can adjust your hands. Now, I know this is our first one, so you may want to adjust them to be a little bit lower. We're not going to hold this for any great length of time, but just find your breath and relax. We're going to hold for 5 deep breaths. Paying attention to the sensations in the bottom of your feet, ladies and gentlemen. Inhaling deeply, gentle with the neck. If you want to let it hang down, be careful. Otherwise, you can let it drop. Oh, this is a nice stretch to the back of the spine, the higher cervical. 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel the heat. And 0. When you're ready, let's reverse the process. So bringing the heart back down to the ground. Feel the relaxation in the muscles. We're going to lift first from your tailbone, sliding the heart back across and walking the hands back to our Vajrasana position. Coming up onto both knees, left leg coming forward. Find 90 degrees in your left leg. adjusting yourself so you're comfortable. If the balance is a little bit difficult, widen your stance. We're going to come into some camel variations here. Camel as well, very heart center opening. Camel can be a little bit difficult on the lower back. So if you do find yourself in pain, only come into stage 1 or stage 2. The complete has 3 stages, and we are going to come into a nice 5-minute Paschimottanasana after this. So do know that. Keep that in your mind. Don't force yourself through anything uncomfortable, but we have a strong, our longest yin position yet coming up. So find your 90 degrees, the lower limbs, bring your both hands into the inside of the instep of the front foot, and really making wide circular movements with the shoulders and the arms. So inhaling, reaching up and lifting, looking up, taking a breath here, and exhaling down. That's stage 1. Stay there if that's where you feel comfortable. On your next breath, stage 2, inhaling up. 1 breath here. If you're comfortable, coming up to stage 2, palms facing upwards, opening from the heart, spreading from that sternum, everything opening. Stage 2. And exhale, coming back through. Releasing 1 deep breath here. If you're comfortable in stage 2, stay there. Otherwise, stage 3, follow me. Inhaling 1 breath to each. Relax your shoulders, leading from your heart. Inhale up. Stage 3, we want to lean back, and if the heel seems miles away, start with the hand on the lower back and push the hips forward. We can lose our 90 degrees here a little bit. If you want, you can even come into a bit of a Hanumanasana lunge. Otherwise, focusing on leaning back, walking the fingers down to the ankle, the back of the heel. Feel the femur stretching, feel the whole front body opening, your heart relaxing. And reverse the process, inhaling up, exhaling both hands down, and release here for a moment. You can wiggle out the arms, wiggle out the shoulders, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So when you're ready, folding down the left leg, or whichever one you had lifted first. And when you're ready, again, lining up 90 degrees, finding your hands in the inside of the instep. And when you're ready, stage 1, nice wide sunrise arms, getting a nice full movement in the shoulder joints, and exhale down. If that's where you're comfortable, stay there. Otherwise, inhaling up. Stage 2, keep the legs opening. 1 breath here, palms facing upward, and exhale, release. 1 breath to relax. On your next inhale, whether you are in stage 1, taking 1 breath. Stage 2 on your next inhalation. Taking 1 breath. Or stage 3, taking 1 breath. And sunrise or
Bring those arms all the way up back to center. And let's come down onto our bottom, setting up for Paschimottanasana. So if you are unable or uncomfortable giving a nice deep forward bend, lift yourself up on your hips. You can even put your legs up against the wall if you'd really like to. Otherwise, find yourself sitting 2 legs straight. Both hands, lift your hips and bum just a moment, and open your femurs so that you are getting nice flat pelvic floor grounding. Although we are working Anahata Chakra, all of the lower chakras, of course, have built into this. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, tips of the fingers touching, and once they do, exhale, forward fold. So find your place of comfort. We will stay here for 5 minutes. The secret and the key to your yin practice is time, stillness, and finding your edge. So you should be at 75% of your, 70% of your full capacity. Right where you feel the muscles are at their lengthening, their deepest pull. And just be there. Don't force anything. Just breathe. We've done several breathing techniques today, starting with the 3-part breathing technique, continuing with the Ujjayi, bringing in the Soham. Also, even having an exhale of Brahmari can be done even when our ears are not plugged with the fingers. We can still recreate those same vibrations. We've been here for almost 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Let the heart drop. And remember, psychologically, we think the heart is in the front of the body, but in actuality and anatomically, energetically speaking, the entrance to the heart is through the back. It is more easily accessed through the back body. Now, the importance of Anahata for us humans is that this is where we all are. The human race has evolved according to yoga tradition. We have evolved enough through those lower centers of the body. We are now stuck, if you will, in Anahata Chakra. It is not open for all people. It is, however, functioning for all people. Now, that might sound like a good thing, but there could be great dangers in having a functioning Anahata Chakra without having it completely realized or understood. Continuing to breathe very deeply. We are just passing 3 minutes. Start to feel the movement of the blood. Start to feel the opening of the fascia tissue. As I was reminded, and as I will remind you, again, yoga is a breathing practice. Any physical effects are mere coincidence. They are designed to allow us to remove any physical tension so that we are able to concentrate on them, to follow Raja Yoga. Raja, the king of yoga. Raja Yoga has the traditional, historic, and authentic interpretation. And it is more so just a practice of focus. Coming into the last minute here, 5 minutes, holding in Paschimottanasana, a 2-legged forward bend sitting position.
one of the top 4 yoga asana. Allowing the spine to lengthen. Releasing any tension. And when you're ready, wonderful work, everyone. Very slowly, keeping the chin into the chest, keeping the shoulders down, starting to roll the lower back, tailbone, lengthening, lifting, and just observe what's happening in your body. Don't judge, don't expect, don't label, just observe and breathe. And get your block. We're going to come into a 5-minute counter position. So, of course, where is this going? Right into the Anahata Chakra. So again, my legs will be in a konasana or a butterfly position. You are welcome to have them bent or to have them whichever you feel is more comfortable for you. Keeping the hands in that same 6 to 8 inch distance away from the body, right where the heel falls. That should be where you might want to start with the block. Exhale slowly, starting to come down. You don't have to have the high and mighty. You can have the lower or the lowest, different versions. Similarly, you can put just a rolled up blanket. The medicine balls or different massage balls work very nicely as well. Again, keep in mind, we're going to hold this for 5 minutes. If you would like to have a second block, help with your neck, you're welcome. Otherwise, finding your preferred position and get ready to hold this for 5 minutes. Allow the entire body to go completely limp. No muscle is exerted. No force but the diaphragm is working in the body. Relax your jaw. Relax your hips. Relax your shoulders. And feel the eternal beat of the unstruck drum. Begin to let the arms and the fingers relax. That's just over 90 seconds already. So if this is your first time coming into these practices, of course, you probably won't feel very comfortable holding a yin position for 5 minutes. We have been building up to this. And each of these Kundalini Tantra sessions should be followed for 1 month before going to the next. And breathing into the belly. Feeling the balloon taking over the body here, almost as though we're floating away with every breath, weightlessly hanging from the belly button. And while the key is time, stillness, and your edge, if you do find space being created within this period of time, take it. Take it. Take another little piece of my heart. It just goes so well I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I'll stop. And breathe. Start to let the shoulders open, the armpits lengthen. We're also getting a deep opening of the system here. And feeling all of the inside of the wingspan opening. If your hands are down by your side, that's wonderful. Let them be limp and soft, be gentle. But as we prepare to come out of the position and as you slowly begin to inhale, bring the arms back up to a more lengthened T-shaped position and just try to maybe bring them up slightly. Feel that crunch in your shoulders. And exhale, bring them down. Palms should be facing upwards. And just focusing on opening the shoulders. If they don't go all the way, that's fine. Go to what's available and take it. Coming into the last 30 seconds here. Trying to synchronize the breath with the movements. And on your next inhale, bending the elbows, interlace fingers behind the head. Lift the neck, especially if you've been hanging for 5 minutes with no support. You may feel you need some. Bring the elbows in and tuck the chin into the chest and hold. Lengthen here. You're getting a deep, strong pressure in the back of the heart chakra. Just hold here for 5 deep breaths. And on your next inhale, start to continue to lift. Use the arms just enough to remove the block. And then holding the knees together. That's our halasana via rock and roll. So balancing here. This is where you're comfortable. Stay. Otherwise, start to get a little bit of a movement and also a bit of a massage, a little bit of a counter position. And once you have given yourself just enough momentum to come back, we're going to come into halasana. Now, if halasana or plow position is a bit too intense for you today, or if you're menstruating, I'll give you an alternative. But otherwise, halasana is here. Mishhalas hatabas suga. Nonetheless, making sure that the toes can either be flexed or pointed. If they're flexed, you can get a bit of a bounce, stretching out the bottom of the toes, and just starting to feel that heart center moving open. You can even let the hips fall side to side if you're comfortable, getting a nice massage in the internal shoulder blades. And if this is not working for you, keep your block nearby And allow the block to just come under the lower sacrum. Okay, so we've done this a few times before. And once you feel that that is working for you, push them back just a little bit and then lift the block, bring it a little bit higher. Okay, and then again, just let the hips start to flatten and relax. We're going to stay here for about a minute. So wherever you need to find yourself, just be here. Without judgment, without expectation. Being mindful that your focus is on your breath. Taking your last few breaths here. I will demonstrate the next position. We're going to come into an inverted stand. So bringing the hands just to the lower bit of the waist. Okay, the thumbs are going to be to the side body. Fingers towards the spine. It's the bicep here that's acting as the foundation. So really finding your foundation with your bicep, your hands, so that the heel of your palm is almost acting as a little seat for your hips as they come up. Start with one leg, inhale left, and bring it back down. Your head should stay forward, inhaling right, lifting as high as you can go, and bring it back down. Let's now try with a bent leg. So inhaling up, and then once it's at its peak, bend it, and let the weight just shift and see what happens. And returning both legs back. You don't have to come all the way, just see what happens. Inhaling, lifting right. Once you hit your edge, then bend the leg and just feel the shifting and let the biceps work as the foundation. Nothing is happening except gravity. Exhaling down. Inhale. Let's bring both legs up together. And again, the hips are just kind of sitting in the hands. We're not going to hold this for too long. And we're not in a shoulder stand. Our chin is not jammed into our chest for one of the bandhas. We are letting gravity work back, and we are still pushing the heart into the ground. So we shouldn't be lifted much past the mid back. Okay, and if you are, you can find yourself coming down a little bit, or again, you could be supplementing this with a block. It's important to come into a little bit of an inversion towards the end of our practice. You can give the legs a bit of a bounce, a bit of a scissor side to side. Whatever movement that you might feel, help to get the circulation. And when you're ready, we're going to come up and bring the feet back to the head, releasing the hands. And very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, Coming back down. Letting the legs hang, 2-leg raise, just for a moment, just for enough. Grounded in the same. Feel that lengthening up your spine, opening the shoulders, grounding in your heart. And as you exhale, slowly allow the legs to come down. Find yourself in Shavasana. Eyes closed, heart opened, mind soft, breath deep. And as you continue to breathe very deeply, focusing on your heart center. Becoming aware of the breath, become aware of the throat. Add the awareness of the ingoing breath, lift downward. The ingoing breath, focus on deep inhalation. Your attention is occupied with the ingoing breath in the throat. And now become aware of the inflowing breath in the throat passing within the network of the diaphragm, so all the way down to the balloon in your belly, and become aware of the rising and the falling, the muscular floor that is separating the chest and the lungs. With each inspiration, it drops into the abdomen a little, increasing the pressure and causing the navel to expand. Now, it's important to be aware that that diaphragm has a similar cartilage and tissue that is found in the heart and that is not found anywhere else in the body. So these two tissues working together with every breath. Simultaneously, the lungs are expanding fully in the chest. Be aware that with expiration, the abdomen contracts, the diaphragm is raising, and the lungs are emptying completely. Now also become aware of the akasha. The akasha is the space within which the diaphragm is operating. This is the eternal, limitless space. And with the ingoing breath, you feel this space is lifting up. And only focus on the process of lifting. This process of filling is breathing deeply into the heart space. Become aware of the space in your heart and breathe directly into that space, feeling the contraction of the breath, feeling the contraction of the rhythm of the heart. As you continue to breathe very deeply, focusing on the heart center, develop an awareness of a blue color, of a blue lake, a blue lotus, and allow that blue color to expand and contract around the heart center. And if you find your mind wandering, unable to focus on the heart center, unable to focus on the color, return to your breath, return to your heart. Return to your diaphragm. Return to your physical body lying on the floor. And if you would like to stay here, you are welcome. Otherwise, very gently, when you're ready, slowly beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes. Slowly allowing the head to turn to the left and to the right. Inhaling, arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers and folding to the left and to the right. Inhaling, knees up, finding stillness, rocking side to side, or letting the legs fall slightly to the left and to the right. When you're ready, lifting the right bicep, keeping the knees in tight. And in this original yoga position, take a moment to thank the people that have helped you. Take a moment to send your energy to those who are suffering. Allow a smile to come across the face, releasing endorphins from the practice. Reminding yourself the effects continue long after we leave the mat. And when you are ready, in your own time, and only when you are ready, very gently coming back up to a comfortably seated position. As I said, the heart, Anahata Chakra, has a very special relationship with the japa. Japa is mantra. So when you're ready to close the class, bring the thumbs into the sternum, feeling the rhythm of your heart in tune with the rhythm of the universe. Find the depth of your breath. And when you are ready, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Matma. Namaste. Thank you very much for your time, your practice, and your energy. I remind you, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions. You are the light, you are the breath, you are what was, what is, and what always and forever shall be.